Wonderful opportunities that this amazing organization provides for so many people. Lord, tonight as the teams take the track under the lights, we ask you for an epic race, but most of all we ask for safety for the drivers and for all the teams. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Welcome, the 29th Division Army Band, Virginia Army.
NASCAR's oldest track with one of the coolest trophies.
Exotic wheels, steering wheels, mini wheels, big wheels, bigger wheels, massive wheels.
No matter what wheel I'm feeling, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices.
That's right.
He had a pretty good car yesterday, Larry.
So you left me the guy that won the last time we were there, Alex Bowman down there, plus 1,400. All the Hendrick cars, you heard Clint talk about it, all the Hendrick cars are really fast.
Really fast. How about the long shots, of course, provided by our friends at Fox?
Here twice, it was a pretty big time between his two wins, and it's been a while since he won. So
Wallace was fast. Talked to him in his interview. Had a lot of confidence as a race car. I think they're going to have a good night. I agree with you.
36-car field. A.J. Allmendinger did not get to qualify, so he will start out back. Here's today's Ford track backs. Now, how about this? Here's the highest finishing Ford in every race this season, and note there are no repeaters. 2 victories, Austin Cindric at Daytona, Chase Briscoe at Phoenix, but the highest finishing Ford has been a different driver every single week. Who's next?
That's interesting.
Larry, brakes have always been the story for every one of the 22 years that you and I have called these races on Fox.
No, it's the one thing drivers and teams focus on every time we come to Martinsville, regardless of what type of car we come with, because of these long straightaways into those U-turns. So let's go to our Ford cutaway car, and let's show you something about brake temperatures. What you're going to see is this huge brake package inside that 18-inch rim. And, of course, you've got different components. You've got the rotors, you've got the calipers, you've got the pads. Look at this right here. Caliper, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. The rotor, 1150 degrees Fahrenheit. And the brake pad, over 1700 degrees. Now, I know that sounds hot, but we have learned these brakes need this type of heat in them to operate. We've been hearing a lot about brake shake because they don't get them hot enough, but one of the brake guys told me this week shouldn't be a problem here because the straightaways are so short, Mike.
Short straightaways, they look long when you're standing atop this racetrack because of those tight U-turns at either end. What a great shot this is.
It is, and I can tell you tonight you're going to definitely see those rotors glowing. You know, we
Teams out of both sides. A lot of color tonight.
And all you need to do is scan the QR code now. Download the Super 6 app.
Which is not good. I just asked the guy that bummed a ride with Jeff Gordon on the helicopter here. So, man, maybe you think old Quinn can ride, huh?
He's down on pit road somewhere getting cold.
Love to look.
A whole lot of people here to watch us race tonight, so have some fun and kick some butt. Thank you guys for working really hard. I've had a really good
work hard
week,
and kick some butt.
Keep it up.
Run up front, kick some butt.
William rolls off.
Byron right there, excuse me, but that car, you want to talk about a mean-looking paint scheme, that Raptor paint scheme on William Byron's car, he better be aggressive because that car sure looks like it. Eating up the competition.
Prepared to go run Bristol. He is really starting to attack this. He and Rudy, their communication is at such a high level. And man, he's bringing home trophies.
Red Byron won here in 1949 when this track was new. Lee Petty 3 wins in the 1950s. His son Richard got 8 in the 1960s and 7 more in the 70s.
Wow.
In the 80s, there was DW with 9 Martinsville victories. In the 90s, Rusty Wallace scored 5 times. And in the 2000s, hey Chad, you and Jimmy Johnson with 6 wins. And in this decade, so the 10s, a tie, Martin Truex in the 20s, 2 wins so far. Series and
Grand National, yep.
Xfinity.
Grand National.
Martinsville's all-time winningest. Richmond, Virginia's Ray Hendrick with 20 victories at this place.
Ray Hendrick.
And this season, 7 races, 7 different faces. There's that streak.
And we're seeing it.
But Larry Mack, how different is it that you have your simulator on the road to greatness? Goodyear, more driven. Now this track now has a unique pit road. You're looking at turns 3 and 4. Everyone enters the pits at turn 3. The pits begin at the apex
right
between 3 and 4 and come all the way down to the exit of turn 2. So instead of pitting on the front stretch or the back stretch, it's one way in and one way out.
Yeah, and you see them practicing where they're at. Most of them are rolling around the outside, and most of those guys practicing out the outside of 3 and 4 down there is because they're pitted down here in 1 and 2. I saw the 22 of Logano that's pitted down there in that end. He was rolling the inside, Chad, practicing where they're pitted.
And what's really interesting about this pit road is obviously we have a radius around the corners, and the turn radius and where you are on the inside or outside lane has a huge role in how fast you are graded and how you go through pit road.
That may be why they had 11 speeding penalties here last fall, the most in any race of 2021.
Yeah, Mike, in fact, in the last 10 races, there's been a total of 74. The last 4 races, there's been 35 penalties for speeding on pit road. Always really fights these drivers.
And how much drivers credit?
So far, so clean. So far, it's really clean. Lap 1 over. There you go, baby. Make around 1 lap cleanly. Right, we want to start at 6:30. It's now 7:45. Here we go, boys. Lap 1, all clean, all good. 2000, baby. Mike Joy just said Joey Logani. Woo! That's what I always call him. This is my nickname for him, Joe Logani. He's always gone. Joe Logano, oh Joey Logani.
Is just like the equivalent of driving from Miami, Florida to Anchorage, Alaska. What? Just in case you would want to do that. Who would ever leave Miami, Florida and head to Anchorage, Alaska?
I think they're probably going the other way.
If you wanted to know how far that is, that's how far it is.
I don't know. That's a long ways.
That was all off the top of my head,
there
too,
and
by
back.
the way.
Did you map that out, or did you use Google Maps on that?
Your leader, 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. He's been beating his bumper. 6th, 7th, 8th,
unbelievable feat.
9th.
It really is, and it just goes. We're talking about pre-race.
Stage 1 winner. Free pass.
And Kevin Harvick, when you look at his
Second,
stats,
third.
this hasn't been a great racetrack.
Free pass. Stage 1 winner. 1 lap down. And 2 lap down. Almost one of them almost went 1 lap down and lead lap. Almost 2 laps down. Only 1 lap. 18 cars in the lead lap. Dance with your daddy all night long. Like to hear some funky Dixieland, but mama gonna take me by the. That's Chase Elliott and old Daniel Suarez right there together.
That new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours
Nice little pump in here. Typical Martinsville racing, baby.
Difficult it is to sometimes get your head wrapped around what's going on.
Let's put in telemetry for both these 2 cars. Straightaway speed about the same, 113, 114 miles an hour. Now they have Eric Jones just ahead and Michael McDowell.
Not only teammates, but owner and teammate.
Brad Keselowski this week lost his appeal for the problem that was found with the rear body panel on his car after a recent race, and a huge fine and loss of points for that specific to be used as supplied part having been modified.
Yeah, NASCAR, they held serve on that. They said they were going to be firm if people were caught manipulating, a single source provider component. And we don't know yet exactly what all that was. We don't know exactly what happened. Paul Harvey will come out at some point and tell us the rest of the story. But man, that's a big hit for those guys. I mean, that could be, championship altering right there. Can they make the playoffs? If they make the playoffs, losing those points, what happens when you get to the Final Four? If you get that far, it's going to be difficult.
Doing a great job holding off the leader, Chase Elliott.
And what is Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin's history here? Let's just say they're not best friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Denny finally got under Eric Jones. It's going to go a long ways to him holding him off to the end of this stage. Do not give up the bottom.
Clint, I'm going to steal a little something.
Look here. Eric Jones is the same way.
There's something going on. Watch that 11 car, just like what you mentioned. And I've got to say, and you're going to be able to comment to this better than I, but when he was shifting, when he's upshifting down the straightaway, it's throwing a big flame out of the exhaust. So it almost looks like he's having a hard time getting it into gear. I noticed it earlier about 20 laps ago, and I actually under break asked you what that was. It's almost like he's leaving the thing. Oh, he got in too hard. Slid up. The 9 car got under him.
He is there.
He is there. You're right, Spotter. But there again, you see, as soon as he shifts that thing, it was almost like he was leaving the throttle down and it's hitting the rev limiter, maybe the chip.
Maybe.
It's the only thing I can think of, because it's the only car, by the way, that's doing that down the straightaway on an upshift. Look at this, 3 wide.
Ooh.
Justin Haley to the outside. Joey Logano trying to hold here against Ryan Blaney for 7 stage points at stake.
Penske teammate
lapping the 11. That is big, putting Denny Hamlin a lap down. But
that's
before
pretty.
the end of the stage, Elliott's going to have to get one more because Hamlin is in the free pass position and will get back on the lead lap at stage end.
And he is on the heels of the 30.
With him, 2 to go in stage 1. Hamlin gets back on the lead lap if Elliott doesn't complete this pass, and here's Biggs to the inside.
Michael slipped up off of 2, got loose.
Denny's going to have to follow him. Here he comes.
And I don't think he can.
Nope. And that's motivation for Chase, right? You want to get Denny a lap down. You want to put him a lap down so you don't have to fight with him later.
Now let's see how aggressive Denny is. Will he put the bumper to that 34 to protect that spot?
He's going to have to do it to get back on the lead lap at stage end. Final lap of the stage. Chase Elliott trying for his first stage win of the year.
He tried.
He jacked him up.
Didn't work. Not enough.
And Michael McDowell held off Denny Hamlin, so McDowell will get the free pass.
That was pretty big right there.
Stage 1 winner.
Race Easter Sunday at 7 p.m.
DW
Hall of Famer and former Fox analyst.
Can't wait for that boogity boogity.
In the booth.
Looking forward to a good weekend, special weekend for everybody. Can't wait to get old DW in there. Old? Man, that picture looked like a high school picture, man. I think his retirement, he's gotten a lot younger.
Do you think that he asked Stevie if he could have the weekend to go to a race?
Man, I think Stevie knows. You don't have to ask at this point a racer if he can go to the racetrack.
All right, Cody Ware, too fast exiting, and on for stage 2.
Teamwork right there. William Byron left the 9 down.
We've seen that a lot over the years, teammates trying to work with one another on the initial starts because, as you know, as guys get hung out on the outside, they can lose 5, 6, 7 spots if they're not able to get down to the bottom. Right now, like I spoke about earlier, the rubber's starting to lay down.
You see that?
Sell out of hot dogs. We have one caution because he's pancaked the passenger side right there in the wall. Still going green.
Mired in traffic and just hammering on them brakes. going for every inch, trying to make the pass every single lap.
137 left. Matt gets 167. That 130 is like the closest you can get to him.
You're going to get paid a lot
So
of money
far,
if you did.
that's back to 2017. Richmond. Fall. A lot of contact down here, stay on the lead lap. He doesn't. There's your stage 2 winner. Second.
It's a flag stand, and if you took care of those tires, like I think Austin Dillon is doing, you could really capitalize on that maybe in the last 20 laps of a run.
3 to go in the stage, and trying to stay on the lead lap now is Bubba Wallace. He pretty well overcame that penalty. He restarted in the back. Chase Elliott was able to catch Bubba, but has not been able to pass him.
This whole run, he's been on his heels. They've been following, honestly, the 9 has been following the 23 through all of this lap traffic.
And here's Austin. I'm telling you, it was just within the last 10 laps, past 3 or 4 cars, long run speed is definitely underneath him, in his favor. Whoa, Bubba slid in the corner, got loose. Cannot give this spot up.
Last lap, stage 2.
I think he's going to hold him on.
Chase gets a boot from Daniel Suarez.
Hey, how about that? Dana getting the lap back.
And Suarez will hold on to the free pass position as Chase Elliott wins.
That was pretty
stage
cool,
2.
Got him back from earlier.
Wallace hangs on to the lead lap.
Yeah, Suarez was 2 laps down right there. That would have been huge for him to get back on 1 lap down. That's why they were probably in his ear saying, man, if there's anything you can do, try to get that leader passed.
So the 99 trying to get back 1 of his 2 laps right here.
Stage 2 winner.
Ain't no shame in his game. I'm going for it. About had it. Almost worked.
Chase Elliott gets his 6th Martinsville stage win. 5th time he swept both stages in a race.
Me and Byron beat Chase Elliott off pit road. Somebody else.
Custer punts that tire.
I think it may have come from the 20, Christopher Bell.
All right, we'll check on that. Meanwhile, who's on the radio?
Man, I'm going with my man Austin Dillon. Flexing some muscle now.
I saw the tire in my peripherals. What happened there?
Yeah, he wants to know why that tire was. Hey, Austin Dillon, it's Boy and the boys up the booth. You got us?
Yeah, man. How's it going up there?
Man, not as good as it's going in that race car. Tell me about it. You started 23rd all the way up to 6th. Got things going on.
Yeah, man. This Get By Ethanol Chevy's really fast on the long
Finished
run.
6th
It
in
takes
that
up a little
stage,
snug, but we got forward drive when everybody else starts to lack it. So we're going to keep on charging, see what we can do with this thing.
All right, buddy. Keep marching.
Austin Dillon up into the top 10 and pit road. 5th place for the elder of the Dillon brothers.
There's a man.
School.
But I was 20 minutes late.
Oh, Mama, parenting is hard. Yes, sweetie, you're doing great.
I just passed this test that proves I'm not a bot.
You're not so hot. There was something that deserves a doctor.
24, that is a wore-out tire right there. These tires are actually wearing out and using the rubber up. It's just not going on the racetrack. Numbers as big as 68, 74 on the left rear, so these tires very interesting tonight.
Very much so. Byron and Elliott. Logano now charging for 2nd.
Over tough on that outside, but I feel like he probably needs to get down. I think he's going to agree with me. Oh, he didn't get down. Ryan Blaney got underneath him, but Ryan got on the curb. Had to lift. Gave him the spot.
We are getting some new players into this game here in the late stages, the start of stage 3. I mean, this is...
Places
now
like
at 20.
Ran the Truck Series race on Thursday just to get some extra laps. Well, he won, and we know what that does.
I can't crank it up anymore. It's all the way wide open. That's that surround sound, but this is a That's 2004 up there. Too old. I have to use that for my PlayStation 2. Only use it for gaming. It's no longer. It's all HDMI. HDMI didn't come out back then. If this was about 3 or 4 years ago, or before we got HDMI, I could. Or almost 5 years ago. I might try it out one day on one of my recorded races. I might try to hook it up. But the thing is, I'm gonna have to use those plug-ins if they don't even work. That's short track racing, baby.
Fans showed up in their Sunday best. They got covered with dirt. So did winner Red Byron. DW among those who made that trip to Martinsville's victory lane and won themselves the grandfather clock. 75 years of great racing.
Got dumped. Nobody else involved. Caution's out. Race leader. Second place. And so on. We got 12 cars on the lead lap, boys. Lot is 3 laps down. Lot about another good amount that's 2 laps down. Only 4 that just went a lap down. That's those right there.
Are running right now. Joey Logano third. Austin Dillon top 5. Tough night for Denny Hamlin, still 1 lap down, and Daniel Suarez, remember, did not stop at the stage break. He's been on the same tires since lap 85. Last night, not in the booth tonight.
I'm telling you, I'm so glad you said that. You're the only person that's ever agreed with me or ever said that. Okay, here we go.
159 laps to go, and William
He's been
Byron
preaching
out
that
front.
for 10 years. Somebody finally agreed with him. He's been preaching that ever since Jeff Gordon turned him back in 2012. 5 laps to go. Gonna be 5 lap shootout right here after that caution.
Hey, Joey, did you save money if you filled the shell?
That was the say of the night. He's still able to go. He did a whole 360. Kept it off the wall. Still going.
And now Byron
Cherry red,
is going to
baby.
move Cole
Brakes are
Custer.
cherry red.
That's that time. I told you it's going rolling.
So there you go, guys.
Joey Logano.
There's your winner. The 43 car. Been a long time.
Putting that 2-2
Long
train
time
up into
coming.
Second place. We'll see
Second
what
place,
happens. Over these
third
last
place,
100 laps can he snap?
4th place,
36 race winless
5th place.
streak.
First car to finish
And those
on the
incredible
lap
big
down.
ones to watch.
Around
We
here,
see the
there's
change
6th
of
and
second
7th.
place.
And here it is.
8th
Coming
place.
through, we know, we talked about it.
7th and 8th.
Actually, we
Good
heard
fences
him
in.
talking about this. When
9th.
do you lay the bumper to? The time is now.
Then
Joey
it's
Logano put the
lap
bumper to the
down.
9 car, Chase Elliott, and
2
into
laps down, 1 lap
Ryan
down.
Blaney, and guess
3
what?
laps
He's not the
down,
only
1 lap
one.
down.
Austin Dillon, we've been talking about that last 15 to 20 laps of
And
the
1 lap
run.
down. So I
Here
think-
he is.
So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars that won a lead lap at the end.
That's what Austin said he wanted. He wanted a long run. Really felt like his number 3.
We're going to record the last 100 laps of this race on part 2.
Right now.
Well, this race is certainly playing right into his favor. See if it continues that way. If it does, I think for sure a top 3.
And like that, Chase Elliott has been dropped to 5th place.
That really hurts my feelings after my prediction just a moment ago.
But look at the difference. Gave up that lead, lost the lead on that pit road. We heard him talk about his page, couldn't switch that page. One thing Chad and I both saw, he was slow on his pit road speed. Larry pointed out that the pit stop was a second half slower, but I'm telling you, his rolling speed was off. The 24 drove right to his bumper.
I tell you, the biggest thing I see with this 9 car right now is how bad the lap time has fallen off. And you know, we were talking a while ago, these guys can go quite a ways more on fuel, probably another 50 laps. Alan Gustafson may have to think about short pitting this 9 car just because of what I'm seeing with lap times.
Well, Elliott has the fastest lap of the race, but here's your Xfinity fastest last lap. Joey Logano trying to catch William Byron. He's 1.4 back. At the fastest time, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell.